The word different doesn't even begin to describe this situation. What is the word I'm looking for? Incredible. This is awesome, but it's very weird because in America we drive on the right side of the road, so driving a right-hand drive car on the right side of the road is a very weird feeling. First off, before I start anything in this review, I have to give a huge shout out to Future Classic Motor Cars for actually getting a hold of this car. This is the legendary Skyline R32 GT-R. And it's amazing. I have to tell you what, I have been dreaming, I have just been wanting to review a car in this kind of stature per se for a very long time, and I'm just, downshifting is so crazy. Oh my gosh, this is just too awesome. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. This car is awesome. I need one of these right now. I think one of my favorite things about the Skyline just family is the history behind the car. So not only are these cars just legendary because they're awesome, they're legendary because they have this crazy, incredible story behind them. So after World War II, there's actually an aircraft company that actually kind of dissipated, per se, and they kind of formed together to create this automotive group, and they named themselves Price Motors, and they came out in 1957 with the first 2000 GT. It was the first Skyline out there. In 1964, the same people actually decided to make it more of a track-oriented car called the S54, and it was still a Skyline. It was the S54 chassis. And then in 1966, for many different reasons, Nissan actually acquired Price and started the production to kind of put in concrete the production of the Skyline. Thus, the Skyline GT-R was born. In 1969, the four-door Hakosuka Skyline was introduced, and then in 1971, the two-door, which is the most commonly known Skyline, was actually introduced to us. After that, it's kind of a forgotten model, but in 1973, the Kinmary Skyline came out. And then back in 1985, the kind of forgotten stepchild, the R31 Skyline was introduced to us, and they produced that with the same dual overhead cam inline 6 without the turbo, and then in 1989, this beast was born. It was given the RB26 DETT twin turbo inline 6 motor, and it just has made such an incredible impact on the car community today. And it makes the most amazing, gorgeous, beautiful sounds ever, even stock. I mean, this car's stock power with an exhaust, and it just makes incredible, just like wow sounds, and it's nuts. That is put through a 5-speed manual transmission, and it's very solid actually. The only thing that's weird for me is my left hand is not used to doing the shifting, but all in all, it's a very, very solid, very, very good transmission. Like, I haven't misshifted. It's very easy to shift into gears. It doesn't pop out of gear. It's really easy to get the hang of. The only thing that was weird at first was the fact that I just had no idea how close to the middle of the road I was until I started looking in my looking at my mirror. But the owner actually told me that at first. He's like, listen, you've never driven a right-hand drive car before. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be really weird, and you're going to be a lot closer to the middle of the road than you did. So I've been paying attention to it, and I haven't, crossed over or anything, but it really is just a really weird sensation. Everything is reversed. The only thing that is the same is the way the gears are laid out. All the way left is first gear, and all the way right is your highest, overdrive and whatnot. You guys have probably watched so many reviews and so many videos on this car and how amazing it is, but like, I know how legendary and crazy and awesome this car has been in the community, but like, I wasn't expecting the benchmark of this car to actually be as awesome as this. Like this car can turn, and it's so awesome. Got a little bit of understeer going on right there, but that's all-wheel drive. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. That's the only thing I can say. I'm just gonna call this the wow review, because that's all I can say right now. You can just hear the turbo spool. He's got a full custom exhaust from the turbo back. It sounds so awesome. You're gonna have to yank me out of this car when this is over. Like, I'm taking this home with me. You know what's funny is, you always get so much grief from like Top Gear hosts and stuff like that, saying that, being on the right side of the car is the side to be on. Oddly enough, it just feels right. No pun intended. Get it? But seriously, like, I don't know what it is about being on the right side of the car, but this feels better. This is weird. Really weird to say, but it just feels awesome being on this side. Okay, first gear. I'm going right. So awesome. Getting some really weird looks driving this car around too. Oh man. Oddly enough, over 25 years later, I am just loving the interior of this car. Like, the bucket seats that I'm driving in are awesome. The steering wheel is so basic. Now, yes, I realize that this was, late 80s, early 90s, but everything's very basic, but it's not like we cheaped out and we didn't want to put anything nice in the car basic. It's like this car is supposed to be an involving looking and feeling race car type thing. It's so awesome. It's so involving. Everything's basic. Everything's simple. The layout is very simple. Everything is right there in front of you. It's actually got rear seats. If you don't have legs, I'm sure you'd probably fit fine back there, but if you do have legs, I'd think twice about sitting back there. I did have high expectations for this car, but I have to tell you, this car is exponentially blowing my mind constantly. From the sound, to the looks, to the color, to everything that it makes, this car is just, hands down, just legendary. And you feel that driving the car. You feel like you were driving a legendary true Japanese domestic market sports car. Now, it has nothing to do with the car, but this specific one could use a little bit better tires. And the only thing and it's probably because it probably just needs brakes, but the brakes are stiff and they're not very responsive, but that obviously can always be fixed. This car is just too awesome to complain about. And it really sucks because I'm trying to be unbiased here, but like, until you actually drive this car, you have no idea how just incredible. Like, what an experience. What an experience. Guys, I want to say thank you so incredibly much for watching, and I want to give a huge shout out again to Future Classic Motor Cars for getting this gem. Not only getting it, but also for the owner for letting me driving it. There's no other word to describe this other than just incredible. This has been an amazing experience. I'm so glad I was able to do it. Guys, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, join the Shanks Squad, and I will see you guys next video. Peace out.